Ceilings consist of one or more layers, or in other words, materials like walls and floors. And now let's see how we can create ceilings in Revit. Well, first, to create a ceiling, you need to switch to ceiling plan view in order to be able to view the ceiling you are creating. Okay, so I'm going to switch to level 1 ceiling plan. Okay, and actually you must be in a plan view to create a ceiling. However, you can edit and adjust it in any other view or even schedules. Next, we need to go to the ceiling tool in the architecture tab. And as you can see, we can create ceilings in two different ways. One is automatic ceiling and the other one is sketch ceiling. Automatic ceiling actually works similar to placing a room element, except that it ignores room separator lines, okay? And I mean, when a place is bounded with walls, then you can easily just pick automatic ceiling and click, and your ceiling is created, and that's it. And between these two, the one that is active by default in Revit is automatic ceiling, as you can see here, okay? Now, I'm going to draw some walls to show you how that works. Okay, so you just need to hit ceiling, automatic ceiling, and you can see this boundary, and just click, and that's created. And again, within the type selector, you can see different ceiling types that we can use. So we have compound and basic ceiling types. Just one thing to be aware of here is to never use a basic generic ceiling. Okay, never use this one, because actually it's a 2D ceiling with no thickness, and we don't want that. Okay, so the type I used here is this one, 2x4 acoustic ceiling type. And this pattern that you are seeing here actually represents acoustic ceiling types. And you also have the option to move and adjust these grid lines. So you just need to click on them and then use the move tool and move them. Okay. So I'm going to talk about this later on. Now let's try the other methods. Okay, I'm going to use a sketch ceiling this time. So just click on the ceiling. Let me make this smaller actually. Okay. So this time I'm going to use the sketch ceiling, and I'm going to use this rectangular tool. So something that I want to tell you here is that when you are sketching the ceiling, if any part of your ceiling is touching the wall, then that edge of the ceiling is tied to the wall it is attached to, okay? But if they are not touching the walls, they will be independent of them. So, for example, if I have a soffit box around the 3 edges of this room, if I draw a ceiling just in the middle, only with one edge touching this wall, okay, let me show you. Okay, and now hit green. Okay, now only this edge is touching this wall. Okay, now if I move this wall, and you can see that the ceiling is tied to it and will be moved with it. Okay. Well, next, actually, let's talk a little bit on the ceiling properties. Okay, here. In instance properties, the first item here is the level. So this level will represent the reference level for our ceiling. So it's like, which level do you want your ceiling to be tied to, okay? And the height of your ceiling is actually setting from this level. Let me draw a section line here. And let's split the window. Okay, so if you have 2 monitors, you can just put them on different monitors, okay? You just want to see both the ceiling plan and the section. Okay, so if the level is set to, okay, so if the level is set to level 1, as it is right here, whatever value you enter here in the height offset from level, that would be the height of your ceiling from level 1. Okay, so since it is an offset from this level, okay, the ceiling is tied to it. So if you move the level 1, let's see, then your ceiling will be moved with it. Okay. And your ceiling height will stay the same. There is also another way that you can set a height for your ceiling, and that is actually by creating a ceiling level and tying your ceilings to that level. Okay, so be careful because we don't want to have a corresponding plans for this level that we are going to create. We just want to create it as a reference line or height. So now let's create a level here in the section view. Okay, so you just need to go to Architecture tab and Level, and then just make sure to uncheck this Make Plan View. Okay. It's important actually because we don't want to have a plan view for this level. Okay, so make sure to uncheck this. And then I'm gonna add a level. Okay, and as you can see, it's a black one, not a blue one. Okay, again, because it doesn't have corresponding plan views. Okay, so you won't see a plan for this level 2 over here or here or here actually. Now let's rename it to ceiling. Now, if you select your ceiling and set this to ceiling instead of level 1, then you won't be able to see it here because of this section box. Okay, and now that I extended this, you can see the ceiling right now, so select it. And I'm going to change this offset to 0. So now this is tied to this ceiling level, and the offset is 0, so it's exactly on this line. Now, what if I have ceilings in different heights? Okay, so here, even if you have ceilings that are a little bit off of this level, you can set offsets from this level, okay, from here, in instance properties actually. And this way, all your ceilings around it will be tied to this ceiling level. So, for example, I want to have a ceiling here, which is actually 9" above this one, okay? 9" higher than this one. So I'm going to create a ceiling. Okay, let's switch to level 1. I'm going to create a ceiling by sketch. I'm going to draw one here. Okay. I'm going to move it. Okay. Now, you see how these patterns are different? So I'm going to talk about this just right after we're done with this part. So I will set the level to ceiling. And I'm going to change the offset to 8" this time. So it is 8" above this level, but it's still tied to it, okay? So you should choose between these two options. Do you want your ceiling to be an offset of a floor, or do you want them to be independent of a floor and be tied to a ceiling level? And they both have their advantages and disadvantages. It totally depends on you and your preferences, actually. Okay, now I want to talk about these acoustic panel grid patterns. Well, you see when I created these two ceilings separately, how in different directions these patterns are. Well, imagine that you are in this room. You definitely don't want to see a ceiling like this, okay? So we need to make some adjustment and make this clean, okay? So I'm going to select this smaller one and just, let me show you, and just, I'm going to rotate it. Oh, not the ceiling actually, the pattern. Okay. And then I need to align the grids. And I'm going to lock it so they move together. Okay, now everything looks fine and clean. Actually, I need to move this one a little bit. So let's do that. Okay, it looks better right now. Now, I want to show you how to delete a ceiling, and that's kind of tricky, but not hard at all. So, well, with the first click on a ceiling, and actually on this pattern, you are selecting the grids and not the ceiling itself. Okay, so in order to select the ceiling and delete it, you need to move your cursor just near the perimeter, and you can use the tab key as well. And when it's highlighted, just select it. Okay, and then if you want to delete it, just hit delete. I'm gonna undo. So by only selecting the grid, like what I'm doing right now, and then hitting delete, nothing will happen. Sorry. Next, I'm gonna create a soffit box here. Okay, so like what we have in the page 9-8 of the book. So let me show you the picture here. So what you can see here is actually a soffit box. So in order to create something like this in Revit, we need to create a soffit ceiling here, okay, and then the soffit wall on this side, or soffit wall, okay. So we might have a bulkhead wall in our ceiling in some cases, which is actually a regular wall but does not sit on the floor, okay, and it can be seen in a ceiling plan but not in a floor plan because of the section height. Okay, so this is the picture in the book, and this is a section view of a room. So we are going to model this soffit box over here in this bulkhead wall. And now let's get back to Revit again. Okay, so first I need to pull this edge of the ceiling a little bit to the left. So I'm going to double click on it and just edit the sketch. Okay, something like this. So a little bit too much. Okay. Now let's add an offset for it. So I'm going to add 1 feet from the ceiling level. Okay, and I'm going to move the ceiling level a little bit. So I'm going to move this to 11 feet. You don't need to do this actually. Okay, first of all, I need to add this soffit ceiling. Okay, I need to add a soffit ceiling to this drawer plan. Okay, and it's actually like a regular ceiling, but this time I'm going to use another ceiling type. So this time I'm going to use this one, gypsum wall board on metal stud. Okay, so I'm going to sketch it. And as you can see, this looks different than this acoustic ceiling part. So I'm going to set the level to ceiling and set the offset to 0. So again, you don't need to do this. You can just set this to level 1 and just add an offset amount here, okay? And we'll make sure the detail level is either medium or fine. So we have metal stud here and gypsum board below that, okay? Well, now let's extend these ceilings to get to the walls from all sides. So just edit the sketch. Okay. And next, I'm going to add a soffit wall. Okay, so I'm going to use this one, soffit wall, and I'm going to draw this over here. and the base constraint to ceiling, base offset 0, and top constraint to roof. And you can see that here. I'm going to move this a little bit. Okay. Well, now what we can see here in this joint is showing that these two, where these two get together, the joint is not clean. Okay, so if you set a camera view, just from here, and I'm going to just turn this crop view off, okay, because I want this to be able to see the interior, not for rendering, okay? So now, as you can see, these lines over here show that this joint is not clean, okay? So it's a little bit tricky here, but I'm going to show you what to do to fix this issue. So first, I'm going to join these two, okay? So select one, click on join, and then join these two. So right now, as you can see, it has fixed in the camera view, but not completely in the section. So we still need to work on that so we can have a nice section. So we have metal stud gypsum board over here. Again, but metal fairing and gypsum board over here. Okay, so now I'm going to adjust these layers a little bit from the type properties. So we have joined these two, okay? So what joins actually do is that it actually joins the core or structure of the walls. And the structure of this one is, let me go to edit type. So the structure of this one is metal stud, okay? But this one is metal fairing, okay? But the finish for both is gypsum wallboard. So actually, we don't want these two to be joined here, okay, because they have different materials. And the only part that matters to us is joining these two finish layers because they are both gypsum boards and should be attached and kind of seamless. So we are going to change the structure of soffit ceiling and wall, okay. I'm going to start with the ceiling. So go to edit type, edit. And now I'm going to move this finish layer to the core. So move it up. I'm going to move this structure up again. Okay, so gypsum wallboard shapes the structure of the wall or core of the wall right now. So hit OK. And now I'm going to edit this one. So I'm going to move this finish up and this structure up again and hit OK. Okay, now it's done, and we have a nice finish in here, okay? So I know that seems kind of silly, but actually Revit did not solve this issue, so we need to fix it some way. Okay, next, I'm gonna add a bulkhead wall over here, okay? So let's switch to level 1 over here. So I'm gonna add the wall over here. And I'm gonna use an interior partition. Then I'm going to duplicate and modify it for our purpose. You can see it here, okay? So I'm going to go to edit type and then duplicate it. I'm going to change the name to interior 6-inch bulkhead. Well, you're going to do this for your assignment, so it's on page 9-34. I'm going to go to edit. I'm going to add another layer here. So I'm going to change it to finish. And then copy this. And it should be half an inch. Should be four inch. this again 1/2 inch. And we have 2 finish layers on this side, so this one, copy this one. And hit OK. So we have the structure and finishes. And next, I'm going to set the base constraint to ceiling and the top base offset to 0. Okay, and the top constraint to roof. Okay, so we have it here. And next, you can clean these by moving the sketch lines and the walls. Okay, so for this, at the bottom of this bulkhead wall, in your assignment, you will be creating a profile and then inserting it as a sweep. So I'm going to skip that part. Well, next, I'm going to talk a little bit on adding a slope ceiling. So, for example, I'm going to make this central part a little bit sloped. So for that, we need to first double click on the roof and go to the sketch mode, and then click on the slope arrow over here. So we start from the tail to head, and then we need to set these values over here, okay? So I'm going to set the offset at tail to 0, and this one, the offset at head to 1, and hit apply. And then hit check. Okay, and it's done. So we have a slope ceiling. I'm not going to adjust it right now. You can just play with it and adjust the offset to get to what you want. So, and if you want to delete it, you just need to double click again and then just delete this arrow. Okay. Now, there's also another way that you can have a slope ceiling, and I'm going to talk about that now. So if you go to the sketch mode again, and if you select one or more edges and select, so I'm going to select this one, and then select define a slope over here, then you can set a default a slope value over here, okay? So just hit check, and it's like this.